I call to order the Wednesday, July 24th, 2024 Planning Commission meeting. May I have a roll call, please?
Oh, Daryl here.
Eric here.
Lynn here,
Mandy here.
Michael here.
and Jeff has not come. We'll let you know if he gets here. Roll call is done. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we have approval of the regular agenda. Has everybody checked it? Is there any deletions or additions, Madison? May I have a motion?
I'm making a motion to approve tonight's agenda of Wednesday, July 24th, 2024.
May I have a second?
I second that motion.
Motion by Michael, second by Amanda. All in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the minutes of July 10th. Did everybody get to going through those?
Yes.
Is there anything?
No.
No. May I have a motion to, please?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from July 10th, 2024.
May I have a second?
I second the motion.
Motion by Amanda, second by Eric, because he's here. He can do that right now. No, Jeff. Jeffrey. There declaration of any conflicts of interest on tonight's agenda? No? Public comment? Anybody in the audience? No? Anybody on Zoom? No? We're gonna beat it tonight. We're going for that. Jeff may get here as we're done. Special presentations? No? Design review and land use public hearing, 0226 Miles and Lane, new single-family residence. Take it away, then. Do you have anything to say?
I mean, I can go over my staff report like normal.
You want Madison to go over her staff report? We'll save 2 minutes.
Okay.
We read it.
Do you have
I
anything?
read it.
Answer questions if you have them.
No conditions.
Does anybody here have any questions?
No.
No? Michael?
No.
May I have a motion, please?
I make a motion to approve the final plans for,
Oh. I need public comment to be open.
Oh, I'm sorry. Darn it, I was doing so good. Public comment is open. Nobody is here.
Nobody on Zoom.
Nobody on Zoom. That took 10 seconds. Okay. Now, Michael's got a motion.
I have a question first.
Oh, you
I'm
do?
sorry.
You came back and had a question.
I was scanning through my deal. I have about 3 small questions, and they're pretty much just general. On the floor plans, is there, there are 5 different kinds or 4, or what do we, it seems like we have the same floor plan coming up.
So there are 8 different models that were initially developed, and they are based on square footage and also whether you have an uphill lot or a downhill lot.
Mhm.
So some of them, the garage and the main living is on the main floor, some of them it's up, some of them it's down. And then so what's happening is owners are purchasing their lot, selecting a floor plan based on what fits on that lot, and the square footage that they want, and then they're also allowed the option of altering those plans, so long as they don't go outside of the building envelopes and the building heights. So far, everything we've seen, I think there's only been 1 lot that has come forward with the design as the standard model. Everyone else has made some type of alteration to the floor plans. Most of them are interior, some of them are exterior. Along with that, they're allowed to pick their exterior colors. We've had some owners that have gone to stucco instead of wood siding. We have one owner that went to brick. We have owners that are going to all metal roofs instead of asphalt. So they have those options once they purchase their lot and select which floor plan to go with.
Okay, that leads into my next question is, what is the fire rating on the roofs, sidings, decks, that kind of stuff? Just curious.
So everything is a Class B. It's all following the local code.
Okay,
There are no high wildfire requirements like you see in some of the other parts of Eagle County, which would push us into a Class A requirement on all of those roofs. Intern does not have that designation as part of their building code.
okay. And going with that as well, in the landscaping and all, I noticed the trees are definitely away from the homes, which is great because, you know, limbs and all that kind of stuff. Thinking fire, I got a little bit of background for me. I'm on the fire district board, so I'm looking at this more fire
Yeah.
than anything.
So Tamina, the landscape architect, is trying to, you know, Eagle County's standard wildfire practices is not to build anything or plant anything combustible within 30 feet of the house. These lots are so small, if we did that, we wouldn't have anything.
Within 30 feet?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
30
I thought it
feet
was-
to,
Five?
no, so it's 30 feet to evergreen trees, evergreen shrubs. An aspen tree or deciduous trees are not counted as part of that because they're not as combustible as the conifers are.
Right.
So she is keeping that in mind, even those restrictions are not required. So you'll notice there hasn't been an evergreen tree placed on any of these lots, and it's for that reason.
Also, I know the fire district suggests, you know, it's not required, that the grass not go right up to the house or the deck, well, the house mainly. I noticed there is a barrier, but it doesn't say what's in the barrier. Is that gravel or is that,
It'll be, I think it's gravel, it may be a wood mulch.
the wood mulch is kind of the fire district says, you know, it's wood.
It's kind of questionable. I'll have to look at each of the individual lots. I know some of them where we have a large deck on the upper level,
Mhm.
there is mulch underneath that deck.
Oh.
I need to go back and look at whether that is specifically called out as gravel or wood mulch.
I know the fire district would be encouraged to have more non-combustible
Right.
product under decks and around. Oh, I think they only say about 2-3 feet off the house.
Part of the issue we run into when we do that is, you know, the building envelopes are 7.5 feet off of the property line.
Mhm.
So if we take out that additional 2 to 3 feet and do gravel next to the building, then all of a sudden you've got a little tiny strip of landscaping between each of the houses. And a lot of these have drainage swales between them where we can't plant shrubs and trees in as well. So you end up with not much vegetation other than a little bit of lawn between the homes.
Yeah. No, looking at what what she has drawn, it just doesn't say what is in that area.
Okay,
That's-
I'll have to pull up her notes and take a
Okay.
look at that.
Okay, those are the 3 questions I had.
When we redid was it our landscape plan? My business for many years was doing landscape maintenance for people and installation of flower beds, not major landscaping. There's a product in the market called either Soil Pep or Pep Soil, which is a very fine product. I don't know whether it's made exactly out of wood or not, but we use that a lot instead of the wood chips because it was healthier for the soil. And I don't know if that's something you might want to look into. I know Home Depot doesn't carry it, but somebody told me Lowe's does.
What's the
And
product called?
either Soil Pep or Pep Soil.
No.
And it's very fine. And if you turn it into the soil, it actually helps the soil. And it gives that kind of same look when you're using it, but it doesn't last like bark does. You know, bark takes a long time. And the problem with bark is the thicker it gets, you create mold underneath because the moisture doesn't dry out properly. So I'm not a big bark fan myself. But you might check into that. I don't know the product itself, it's fire.
I haven't heard of it. I haven't heard of that, and so.
I know that the plant selections she's also making are based on the county's, you know, recommendations for lower irrigation and fire considerations.
Yeah, I noticed the brush and especially the aspen trees.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
But like I said, it doesn't say what that barrier is.
I'll find that out, and when we're here for our next meeting, I'll report that back to you.
Okay.
I'd like to say something with Rick before we move on. Basically, your asphalt shingles and your metal roof, the material itself is a Class A rating. You just don't have a full-blown Class A assembly.
Correct. We don't have the underlayment underneath it that drives it to that Class A assembly. Yeah.
Correct.
So the shingles you can do by adding one underlayment. The metal roof has a separate underlayment. They're just different based on what's on top of
But the
it.
shingles and metal themselves are, the material is actually an A. but the
Excuse me a moment,
assembly-
Matt, Michael. Please note, Jeff arrived at 5:40. Thank you. We're almost done, so hurry
We're in the
up.
middle,
Get into it.
I'm good, we're in the middle,
On the first one.
we're on the first one. Got any questions?
Not yet.
Okay.
We're in the middle of motion, you ready? Sure. All right.
Amanda, do you have anything?
Back.
I have nothing.
Okay. Further discussion is done. We have a motion by Michael. Would you like to read it one more time?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the final plans for 0226 Miles End Lane.
May I have a second?
I second that motion.
Motion by Michael, second by Amanda. All in favor? Archie, roll call vote, huh? Roll call vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Lynn, aye.
Amanda, I.
Jeff, aye.
Michael, aye.
Okay. When it's things like this, we try to remember to do roll call votes. Okay, final plan review for new home 0024 Silver Star Trail. Madison,
So this is a 4-bedroom, 3,300 square foot, single family home. Measured to the midpoint of the roof at 27 feet, 11 1/4 inches. Parking is more than adequate with 4 off-street spaces, which provides 2 more than is required by the PD guide. All setbacks are fine, and the proposal is under the allowable lot and impervious coverage limitations. They have more snow storage than is required by the code at 350 square feet. Staff has identified no issues and recommends approval of the plans.
Rick,
No questions?
anybody have any questions?
I have no questions.
No.
Any questions?
Are you gonna move here?
That's not Rick.
It's not Rick.
I know, but I'm saying,
Same, there's no.
it's the Hermes.
I know it is.
Yeah.
Jeff,
I don't-
Michael,
I have not.
may I have a motion?
Public comment?
Public comment. Anybody in the audience? I forget to do it when there's nobody here, I'm sorry.
No one on Zoom.
And nobody's on Zoom. I guess I could ask the chairs again. No, nobody. It's closed. Public comment.
I make a motion to approve 0024 Silver Star Trail, Northern Colorado for final building.
Sorry.
Motion by Amanda, second by Jeff. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Daryl, aye.
Eric, aye.
Lynn, aye.
Amanda, I.
Jeff, aye.
Michael, aye.
Oh, we're up to 13 minutes. We're
Thank
doing
you.
good tonight. Thank you.
Thank
See
you
you
guys.
at the next meeting.
Yes.
Yes.
You got more houses coming in? How many lots are left?
3 more next meeting. Yeah,
Yep.
3 more next meeting.
There's 12 lots left.
Still? And Daryl, I was going to tell you, do you still have a booth at the market?
Yes, we'll
On
be here.
Saturdays, there's a booth down there, and they have all the pictures of the different designs of the houses and the layouts and
Oh,
things. If you
okay.
want to go see it.
Oh, okay.
Bring your checkbook, sign right up.
Okay.
The mattress is full.
Thank you.
guys.
Have a good evening.
You too.
Hey Madison, to Lynn's thing, I didn't hear a month ago, like, even if they're in public, go look at the homes, or was that prior to the PUD only?
So if there are active applications, you're not supposed to do excess research or extra research beyond, what staff is giving you, because staff is supposed to be giving you the whole picture. However, when it's more theoretical, because you're not looking at plans specifically for 24 Silver Star Trail at their booth. They've got,
Okay,
here are the things that you can choose from. I wouldn't, if they have plans for specific lots, I wouldn't ask about those because those will be or could be currently active applications. I don't know if they might have already submitted to us, but just general kind of floor plan layout stuff that they have at that booth. I think.
And my question wasn't there. My question was how many are left? And,
no, never.
but then the other thing that I noticed when I was there, how they're selling in position. One street was more open than anything else. And I did ask about that, and they had one specific picture that showed how those homes would overlook the homes in front of it. That was the only thing I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I just kind of
So the
said,
back street isn't as,
it depends on where that back street is. It's the one more further to the north.
I mean, if you'll notice in most of the renderings that have been provided for pretty much any of the plans that have come before y'all, one side looks like it's one story, and the back side or the front side, depending on which portion it is 2 stories. So, I mean, the lot slopes a ton.
Yeah, and that was what I noticed when I saw that, whatever you call it, they put together to show it, is those lots go up higher.
Mhm.
So their placement over the ones in front of them is different, you know what I mean? But that was really the only thing, it was funny because I didn't even recognize it because he had black sunglasses on and a hat, and he didn't, and I'm like, and he was there with the gentleman who I don't know that we've ever seen in here, it was somebody else. But, it was nice, but I mean, just don't ask a lot of questions. Okay. Discussion direction items? None?
I mean, I guess we're not really discussing it, but before y'all have the new draft, very rough draft of Article 5 for y'all's purview and a review, and we will be talking about this at the next Planning Commission meeting, which is August 14th.
Wow, this is like a good nighttime reading, thank you.
Yes, it is 143 pages long. It is not complete. We still have sections that we need to either run by the town attorney, or you'll notice in a couple places it will say, add text here, because we know that we need to add something there. We're still working on that language. So if, when this does eventually get put into the packet at the next meeting, if there are any changes, staff will be drafting a memo pointing out the changes between the version that y'all had to review for 3 weeks and the version that will be in front of you to actually discuss, so that you're not having to comb through 150 pages of figuring out what's different.
Okay, thank you.
Planning Commission comments, does anybody have any?
Do we discuss this flower box or this?
No, it's already approved.
It's already approved.
Yeah, you can certainly discuss it if you'd like.
That's it.
That's nice.
It's the fencing that was on there, right? With the
Yeah.
flower boxes on it.
The flower box is on it. It's lightweight. I think might be fake flowers. I think she told me.
It is.
It's really heavy base, so it didn't need to be staked into the ground. It's movable. They just wanted some kind of separation between the sidewalk and the tables, and possibly something to hook their lights to.
To what?
Hook their lights to.
Anybody else?
So, my only thing is, it feels like that we got painting on all of our streets, like for parking
For
painting.
something.
And, did we lose spaces
Oh, yes.
around the, liquor store and those places?
The curb, the sightline curb got much longer. I mean, that's been discussed at council for the last 6 or 7 months.
Okay.
So it was a safety issue, and eventually, hopefully, that will be the place of actual bulb outs, where pedestrians will still have some protection of the sidewalk, but can walk out further so that they can see cars coming. But yeah, it became. I mean, anybody trying to pull out from any of these streets knows that sometimes there's a wall of cars there, and you just kind of have to guess and hope that nobody's coming when you pull out. So that's what this was there to help.
That's my other thing, there's not, with the new stuff, at least where my street is, coming, because there's no longer parking available, in front of the liquor store, cause especially if anyone's been here during lunch hour, you can't, nobody can park there, so the liquor stores, I don't think is their fault, I think it's more the business down the way, because they don't have enough parking, but there's vendors that are parking in that fully, and I've almost gotten slammed twice now.
Well, I mean, all
Delivery.
street parking is public. It's not for any one specific business.
No, I know, but it's
In the line, in the yellow line she's talking about.
in the yellow line, but there's cars sitting there, and I live across the street, so I noticed that they park their car, they go hike, then they come eat, and then 3 hours later they move it. It's insane.
If they're parking within the no parking zone, then
No, not in the no parking, but in, so you can't, there's no, they don't.
Parking availability.
There's no parking availability.
well,
They're not using the lot down there.
But-
So
it's all-
deliveries can't go. It's
all
like
public
maddening.
parking. I can't
I
control
know.
where people park.
You know, I always say that the
I
naughty
know.
taboo saying, we could put parking meters in and have lots of space.
I know. Well, or at least just like have delivery parking between 10 a.m. and 1. This is it. It's 15 minutes of delivery. Like just something because it is like
When I was downtown,
it's bad
the
these
cars,
days.
delivery trucks would pull in front of my store facing north on the wrong side of the street,
Yeah.
park in front of the fire hydrant, lower the ramps into Nelson Street, and they would sit there and unload. There is nothing you're going to argue with a delivery truck about.
Yeah. It's more. I feel like.
And they park in the bus stop that's there, which is in front of,
Yeah. No. It feels like it's compounding with the loss of parking. Like it's
It is.
now compounded. And
and you're seeing it already, is
Oh,
what
yeah.
you're saying.
Oh yeah, well, I'm seeing people like, instead of parking down like by the saloon, they park there, cause it's close to the, thing, and then they go on their walks, they walk out the tracks, they go,
They park where?
like wherever they can find near Rocky Mountain, like near the
Oh,
restaurant.
Rocky Mountain Tacos, you kept saying, I thought you were saying.
No, they
others.
park-
They lost a lot too.
They lost a lot too, so they park near anywhere they can find near Rocky Mountain Taco. They go on their hike usually behind there or like the train tracks and hike around so that their car is where they're leaving after lunch. It's constant.
Has the town thought about trying to do something like Avon did with all those, you gotta scan your phone and
No, I don't think
all that
that's what I'm just saying like,
stuff?
it's not necessarily the positive impact that we
I
thought,
quit
yeah.
shopping.
Everybody knows there's no enforcement, so it doesn't matter what
Yeah.
gadget you use.
Park in front of the yellow line, is not gonna take it.
You don't not,
Here's the thing, you do know we have Kevin now, a code enforcement officer.
we just call.
About what? They're not violating anything. They're parking in public parking.
I know, but the yellows are violating, so.
Yes.
But I think
Yeah, that's a sheriff thing.
but the parking in the yellow has gotten worse since, I don't know.
Right.
It's
If
just
if
bad
they're
right
parking in a no parking zone, you can certainly, call dispatch. And dispatch can come and give them a warning. We are working on an educational period right now rather than a strict enforcement period.
now. Okay.
Because even though, as I said, this was talked about at council for months and months, everybody seems to be like shocked that this is happening.
I'm just saying it has made matters a little bit worse than better.
So we're currently, as I said, in an educational period right now. I think we're giving everybody 3 months, I think, to get used to it, and at that point, we will start issuing tickets.
And I think it was in our packet in the town manager's
No, we
report.
talked about, we got the bulb out stuff. I'm just saying it is right now on Harrison and that
It's
that
everywhere.
cross.
What is it, up
is
to the 600 or 800 block?
600.
Yeah, it's from downtown to the 600
A
block.
lot of it goes
both
back,
sides.
so some of it goes back too as well, Amanda, when we get into it on the future here. Like parking requirements for residences, you don't wanna make them less. Cause I can tell you up at my end of the street, the people on Main Street aren't the restaurant people. It's people that can't park at their houses
Really? And then
all day.
Well, Lisa Farrell was one of those people because I took some sewing to her the other day. There's not a single place around her house to park unless you pull into her fairly narrow driveway. I mean, and if there's nothing open, so now at least I know where she is, I can walk down. But that one surprised me because both sides of her driveway are yellow lines. There's no way for her to have anyone.
our intersection's gotten worse than the.
Well, our blocks are small too. So when you take that, 18 feet, 15 feet from the corner?
I don't
It's 18.
know.
And you do it on both sides, our blocks are small. It's not like blocks in the city of Chicago are larger. And so you're definitely eliminating a lot. And,
Mhm.
I like parking meters.
but what really bothers me is when you drive through downtown, the 100 block, and you're 20 feet from the crossing that you push the button to cross and somebody's walking into the street in front of you instead of walking to the crosswalk to push the button to cross.
Oh, yeah.
That one worries me.
I was in downtown Denver, I had the crosswalks in Aurora, and I can promise you that when you cross that crosswalk, you feel 100% more safe than you feel trying to cross a crosswalk in Minturn. Because big 4-lane roads and they all stop. But I'm telling you, you cross the crosswalk, any of these crosswalks,
People speed up.
you got a 50-50 chance of,
They literally speed up at Harrison.
huh?
They literally speed up at Harrison. Coming from Leadville, speed up.
Oh, yeah.
It's,
No, I'd rather have this, I think the sheriff would like hide in the corner
Mhm.
and put somebody out there to test it. They'd be busy all day. I wouldn't feel bad.
But can you also take a request to have somebody, the stop sign on Toledo and Pine across from the fire department?
Mhm.
That tree is so overgrown that you barely see it anymore. It's a little cottonwood, I think. And unless it's been done in the last week, it's been like that for a while. The tree needs to be pruned and it'll be fine.
maybe we need what Eva did with those orange flags.
Me picking up and walking.
Walking across. Oh,
They're safer there.
Sign pollution?
oh, it's so
Enough sign
But then we have to put it at the top, like I gotta walk out and like hold it so that we can get out of our street.
Then you gotta run.
Without getting hit by another.
Ask Arnold for some
I'm saying out
flags.
of the street, but with a car. It's just so
Oh,
bad.
your car.
So bad.
Ask Arnold for some flags. You can go out there and stand and
I know.
get Yellow Jacket.
I just want it on like my front bumper.
Okay.
Okay, back.
Well, there's your planning commission comments for the day. Anybody else?
No.
No? Okay. Future meetings, August 14th and August 28th. We know we have 3 more homes coming in August 14th. Anything else?
Chapter 16 and maybe a variance. I don't know which meeting in August that's going to hit.
For something that's already there?
Did you read the article about the north? I mean,
Please. Okay. And then August 28th? We don't know.
I do not know what's going to be on that meeting. Oh, August 14th will also have an ordinance.
We'll have an ordinance.
Yep, to do with lighting.
So we have an ordinance, possibly a variance, chapter 16, and 3 more homes. So please plan some time for that one.
Got it.
Okay? And anybody gonna be gone at that point? No?
But I know.
that's the 14th?
14th.
Yes.
Nope.
And what about the 28th?
Nope.
I'll be here.
I'm here. Okay? And children should be back to school by then, shouldn't they?
Definitely will. Every weekend.
That seems early.
Well, that's Memorial Week. That's the
Labor.
yeah, Labor Day. Yeah. Let's do it for Labor Day.
With that, may I have a motion? Because we're past our 23 minutes.
Didn't set the record.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting on July 24th, 2024.
Under 30 minutes.
May I have a second?
I second.
Motion by Amanda, second by Michael. All in favor?
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Did you go in